Hey guys, it's me Nigel aka Camo and we are back. Episode 30 of City Skylines. So guys and girls, how is everyone doing? I hope everyone is doing fantastic and you guys are having a great day. Well, firstly, I want to just mention that this is our 30th episode of City Skylines and this is crazy. I never thought I would reach up till this point and want to really thank every one of you guys for all the support you guys have given to me. So for today's episode, it's going to be a little more special as we are finally working on the downtown section. Yes, I had plans to work on the downtown since ages and have been looking out for ideas. I've taken a huge inspiration from my all-time favorite City Skylines creator, that is Overcharged Egg, and thus I came up with the road layout you guys can see on the screen. So initially I had made a city that looked slightly different than this one, actually very different because I didn't work with proper measures and thus it looked way too big and also quite bad. Thus I had to just delete the whole thing and start from the beginning again. Also, as you guys can see, I have even placed in our main transport hubs that include a huge railway station as well as a metro station, followed by promenades around the center of the grid. So the main plan is that this will be an open section in the middle that would act like a breathing space with parks and commercials and plazas, and you can see the city from a 360-degree perspective. As there are so many skyscrapers, this area looked amazing by the end, as you can legit have the best views and I personally loved it. But a small error I'd like to address is that I ended up missing some measurements for the promenades near the metro, and even though it looked quite centered, it wasn't while I realized it quite late. I also made these diamond intersections on two different ends of our downtown that has promenades in the middle with bus lanes, which I will be using to add some bus stops and maybe add in some cafes, some small plazas to make it look even more nicer. So about the placement of these buildings, I took my time. I took legitimate time to place the right buildings in a way that it looked just perfect. So this is just an initial placement work I did, adding in loads of these wonderful skyscrapers from the DLCs we have, along with some other smaller assets that fit in right with the area. I'll just be honest that it became a huge mess with traffic by the end because of so many unique buildings in the area attracting huge crowds. And I am sure once we start with the train services, there's going to be even more people coming in the town. So for me, the idea was to place in one building that will be the tallest in the city, followed by other tall buildings that will obviously be shorter than the main one. And if you guys noticed, I also placed in a church in the middle of nowhere. Yes, I know, but I have seen that there are many downtowns having such nice old churches, and it looks nice, with the contrast of modern and old architecture. With these blends, the downtown started taking a nicer shape, and honestly, I could see that things are getting there, exactly where I had planned it to be. I even went on to add not just skyscrapers but also these office buildings and malls from the Japan pack, which I really love for the colors as well as the details they have on it, and again it fit in right for the area. I even added necessary service buildings that includes hospitals, police stations, fire stations, as well as the bank. I am super glad that City Skylines came up with such modern looking assets that fit perfectly in the downtown section, and it just helped me shape the area even better. Once I was done with the placement of unique buildings, I started off placing some of these other options we have. These include some of these tall IT buildings, a variety of commercial buildings, and yes, I was a bit too generous with the placement as there are quite a lot of commercials in this area, followed by some of the residential buildings. So for the middle section of our downtown, as mentioned, I wanted this to be a nice and relaxing area from where you can get a 360-degree perspective of the downtown. So I placed in lots of parks, and also there are parking lots near the main roads with more of these wonderful commercials, and I must say they came out looking really good when I was done with the detailing work. I wanted this area to act like a huge plaza where you can even come and shop stuff you need exclusive to this area. As you can see that I have placed in lots of parks and more of these unique ones cause it can help attract lots of people to the area, and around these parks I have kept in the commercials. Personally, I like the work I did and it made it look like an open space filled with lavish looking facilities that also helped improve the land value. And also I even placed this French monument, Arc de Triomphe. I hope I pronounced it right, but I feel I just butchered it. And I kept the area around it open and filled with flowers and bushes, acting like some garden space because I seriously didn't want to put in anything in this area. I added a border of bushes around the whole area, and when I was done with it, I placed in some of these overgrown bushes and trees and looked at my work and said, wow, that looks amazing. I just laid down some initial rail lines which I'd work on later and proceeded to add in some more assets across the downtown area. Now yes, I did add in some more buildings off screen, and then I worked on adding some other basic elements to fill up the gaps. I filled up the gaps with lots and lots of plazas and parking lots mainly. If possible, I even added some other sort of parks and gateways. If needed, I even went for either some paths or maybe some other assets or buildings that fit nicely in the spots. I even added a huge bus terminal that will connect major bus lines to our main city, as well as internally, as I personally would want to avoid traffic, and maybe in future I might consider adding in tram lines if needed. But that's for the future. Currently you can see me put as many plazas, parks and parking spots all around the area because I wanted to fill up the gaps with something that will look right and not just buildings. I even kept in some spaces open with trees and bushes only because it just felt right that way. I even added some of these amazing looking educational facilities, mainly the ones that look modern and were perfect fit for the downtown. And I also placed in lots of paths, yes, as I mentioned earlier. And trust me on this, my hands started paining at one point because I placed so many of them that my hands went completely numb. But again, I just wanted to keep going even after the pain, as I wanted to get done with this area. Later it was just me adding in some smaller parks, and if not that, then there were flowers and bushes. I tried being a little creative with the placement, as you guys can see, but I must say that just adding some basic bushes also worked out quite nicely. It made the downtown look slightly more lush and greener, adding in this contrast to these concrete jungles. Personally, I would really admire if any one of you guys can suggest me with some good road patterns that can help our downtown with the excess traffic and control it nicely. So if you come up with anything, just feel free to drop up in the comments, because I am aware of what is going to come with time in this downtown area. Yes, I will also be working on maybe a tram line to make the whole downtown accessible by public transports, or maybe add in monorails. But yes, I will be adding it if there is an excess of traffic issues, otherwise I might save it for something else. lastly, we have finally connected all our metro lines, and yes, I started it. I placed in loads of metro lines and kept more of these junctions to avoid too much of crowd, and I made sure that if possible only one metro line runs on a given route. There are a total of 4 to 5 lines that end at the downtown, while the rest connect all the other cities and also connect the stations that take the people to the downtown section. Well, this was it for our downtown build. Just feel free to enjoy the end cinematics, and for my next video, we will work on either expanding our downtown and adding in more of these parks and maybe stadiums on the outside section, making some green spaces, or possibly I have an idea of working on a rural city. So yes, there are these two ideas in my mind, but feel free to even put up suggestions of what you want to see next, and I'll definitely add that in our city. Till then, make sure to enjoy the video, hit the like button and subscribe. Until next time.